I'm on the Periscope. Just wondering how everybody's doing. I want to do two things this morning. I want to follow up from my Periscope yesterday at a local flea market, and also talk about some Periscopes I just watched now. Very inspirational. I was just watching a Lisa Illman, a few of her scopes. She's very inspiring. She's at Lisa Illman. That's Lisa Illman. I think she also has a lisaillman.com. She does. Let me see here what she does. Uh, Morning bling. Yeah, she's at Lisa Lisaillman, and she does entrepreneur things, and she likes streaming things, and she does a lot of business planning and talking. And I just listened to two or three of her talks. One was about emotionally preparing for things. She called it emotional hygiene, I think. So that's a very interesting term. Hey Harry, how you doing? New York Unite. She also had another talk about fear as an incubator, and about how things that happen on our brain screws us up business-wise and so on. Hello, Susie. So if anybody gets a chance, please look at her stuff. I think I did a share out for her. So I just spent like the past hour and a half looking at some of her past stuff on her site and so on. It's really interesting stuff. I got your share on fear. I will check it out. And it's true. I'm my 50s now, and if I could count the number of times that fear held me back, really a lot of times, and to the point where I didn't do some things where I should have. Yes, it's all psychological, and completely 100% psychological. So there's things like that. And even she was talking about her fear of speaking. I was a teacher at Columbia and NYU and other places and so on. I taught computer programming, and I also did a public speaking. I would go around the country speaking at conferences and things like that. And when I started out, yes, not only in business, in life too, yes. I was very shy as a boy, and even into my 20s and so on. And one day I just realized, like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I, what am I so fearful about? So fear screws a lot of us up, and it's all in our heads. And sometimes we're our own biggest critics. We sometimes think people are thinking something about us. I read an article about that a couple of years ago by some science people or psychologists or whatever wrote something up in a journal. And we often think things are happening that are not actually happening. We become more fearful of things ourselves. For instance, my friend had signed me up to teach at NYU. It's a whole long story, and I was so scared. I was sweating like a bullet. It was the summer. He even came to prod me on, and I screwed up royally. I screwed up so royally that the class walked out on me. So here I am, fearful of being in this situation, and my mental image, it succeeds. So it became a circle that my own fear caused me to be more fearful, because my fear was that I was going to screw up, and I did. So it becomes a circular thing, and it really takes a lot of distortions and getting yourself, really getting your head on straight. It's not about, I did that. It's not about horse blinds. It's about really getting yourself psyched and going. And sometimes fear is a good thing, and sometimes it's a bad thing. I also have another experience which is related to teaching as well, where the class also walked down at me. So I have, this is some of my earliest introductions to doing public speaking and so on. And can imagine, self-fulfilling prophecy. There's no other way to say it. So here I am, fearful that I couldn't do this thing, and I accomplished my goal because I couldn't do it. Everybody walked down at me. And if you could imagine my embarrassment and so on. So how do you re-enter? How do you reestablish yourself? How do you get your brain screwed on right? It's a pretty hard thing, right? If you don't care, don't come to this Periscope. Come to somebody else's. Okay, right, bro. Live long and prosper. Take it easy in somebody else's scope. Okay. Story of my life. And by the way, it's interesting because now I'm a risk taker. And I find it exciting. And now I know I'm going to fail. Good morning, everybody. We're live from New York. Hope everybody's having a good day. So now I almost depend on my fear to get me through things, because I know I'm going to fail at some of it, and now I know that's not a problem. It's not a problem anymore, right? So there's things like that. All underdogs have this in common. Yes, and often the underdog is an important thing. In fact, Harry, I wish you would do a scope on this, because I know you do certain things to prepare yourself to do a market. And I think it would benefit people to hear some of your mental psyche entering a market. That would be great things. So I would look forward to you doing a scope about things like that. Yeah, Wholesale Harry, not Harry. Yeah, anybody who's not following Wholesale Harry on the scope, please do so. This guy is a gem. So I really intended to log on this morning and talk about what happened yesterday, but I just randomly was looking through some scopes to peek at and saw this lady's scope going on. And I was like, whoa, what's she got to talk about? It was like emotional hygiene. I'm like, emotional hygiene? What's she talking about? Not cursing or something? But no, she's talking about getting your head screwed all right, how to do business plans, things like that. So really wonderful, fun stuff. So let me go back to, Wholesale Harry is the best Harry. There's no other way to say it. So yesterday I did a scope, and it's posted on YouTube. In fact, if anybody can tell me is the only way your profile that gets shown on Periscope, it's only your Twitter profile? Is there any way to change it? Because what I want to do is add the link to the YouTube, the past Periscopes that I now have on YouTube. But the only way I can see to do it is to change my Twitter profile, and that seems to be an odd link there. So does anybody know how to do that otherwise? No, everything just went dead. I think my feed just died. Is my feed live? How's everybody doing? Not sure. So yesterday I did a scope. Yeah, people are rejoining. So I think everybody got cut off. I'm finding that too. As I was watching Lisa Illman's stuff, I got terminated maybe 30 times. So Periscope is still growing here, and it's an odd situation. So yesterday I posted a scope because I thought it was going to snow earlier than it did, and furthermore, I had other stuff to do yesterday afternoon. So it made no sense for me to go to a market in South Jersey or even in North Jersey or even in Manhattan or whatever to do that. There's an edit portion within Periscope. Okay, I'll try to find it because I'm noticing there's different buttons you can click, and the ergonomics of the way they're designing Periscope, I think, needs to evolve still. Yes, I'm about flea marketing. I do other stuff too, but so far all I'm scoping about is flea marketing. Also follow again Wholesale Harry. Okay, he just posted. Oh yeah. So yesterday I was kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. So the decision was, let me go to my local place, which is almost comical compared to some of the larger markets. But you know what? It's in my community. Lots of people go to it. I figured, okay, I'm not going to... I've done that market in the past, and I actually have to drag things 2 blocks. And it's bad enough taking your car, driving it up to a spot in an outside market, right? So instead of doing that, I just decided, let me pack a few of my Marvel stuff, because I sometimes bring that with me and sometimes not. And if the table next to me is empty in an outside market, I throw it in there. So I figured, screw it, let me make a few $100s and go to this market. Even if it's not the best thing in the world, I get something accomplished and I walk away with something in my pocket. Oh, Columbus was dead? Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Actually, all the markets I did this week were weird. After like 3.5 really good weeks, this week for me in total was not a good one. I was almost thinking of going to Tacony. But I think I heard it started raining there. So I don't know. No, cold doesn't set us back. Cold moves us forward. There's still buyers in the cold. And sometimes you can make more money as an outside vendor in the cold than you can in the warmth. What happens is sometimes the markets gets oversaturated and people start walking around like zombies. And in the winter, you have less people, sometimes significantly less people. But because there's also less vendors, remember, there's still money in their pockets. So if somebody has $100 and they spread it out over 1,000 vendors, then everybody's getting less money. So you can actually make more money in worse weather sometimes than you can in good weather. Okay? Right. Often lots of money. Some of my best days have been 20 degrees with 30-degree winds smacking my back. Right? And some of you think your best days would be like mid-July, and sometimes that can actually be the worst day. There's even days we decide not to do markets on days like that. And sometimes I do specialty markets. I go up to upstate, or it's not actually upstate, but Stormville Airport Flea Market is usually one of my best ones. But there's been times it's been my worst. If it's like 95 degrees, it's dirt ground, it gets dusty, it's a nightmare. So sometimes we prepay for it, and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we just drive up, and it just depends. Yeah, Harry can sell in the rain. I can't sell in the rain. That's a problem I have, which is one of the reasons why I decided to go local yesterday. So really the moral of what I want to say today is that I played the numbers. I did a different setup. I almost never just do a strictly Marvel setup, and I actually did well, even though the Indo market yesterday was not well attended. So have a plan B, figure out what you want to do, and think about your business plans. What am I selling? Where can I sell it? How can I sell it? Things like that. So that's really my message this morning. I don't consider myself a hustler. You might consider I am, but I don't know what I am. I'm just there. Does anybody have any questions about whatever? What do I sell? I mostly sell small electronics, cables, speakers, headsets. I'm a hustler in the skies then. So how's everybody doing this morning? Good? How about some high fives? Anybody got some high fives for me? So what I'm going to do for the rest of the day is chill out. Yeah, I'm undercover hustler. Real hustler. I've seen you out there early. Yeah, actually, I got up at 4:30 yesterday to go to this market to make sure I got a table. Because even though it's a smaller market, it's normally packed. So I got there before the guy even got there. The guy who opens up the door wasn't there yet. So I was able to get a table and kind of really where I wanted it to be. Because sometimes he puts me around the outside and I tell him not. So, yeah. High fives. That's right. Yo, do it. You don't emoji? Come on. Come on, you're Mr. Bling. So my main goal today is to chill out. I just sent out some eBay orders because I compliment the flea market stuff with that. And again, that's a plan B again, right? You have to complement what you're doing. What can you do, even if it's the same, and get extra cash out of it, right? Actually, I'd stopped it for 2 years until a few months ago. Right, don't miss the bling. The bling, the bling, the bling. Okay? Anybody have any questions? Because otherwise I'm going to tune out. I just wanted to send that message that I took a random thing by not setting up my normal stuff yesterday and setting up mainly only Marvel stuff. And it turned out well. For instance, if you saw the tables, yes, hello everybody. How much are the large BT speakers on your eBay? I don't have any large ones listed at the moment, I think. Go to Envy This Stuff on eBay. It's also on there. Anybody has any questions, you can email me at envythisstuff at gmail.com. I forgot what I was just about to say. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna sign out and figure out what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day. All right, guys, take it easy. Oh, what about them? Oh, I might post that yesterday. What I was tomorrow. Sorry, I'm never catching my brain in the right sense. What I'm probably going to do is post a 1 minute scope. Given a day and a time, I'm going to do that. I think it's tomorrow. I'm going to talk about how to install Periscope on your Mac. What I'm going to do is delete it off my computer, do a run through of it again. And if that works, I'm going to delete it again and then do it live. So I'll pre-post that so I can get live questions. It's okay to replay a scope or look at it on my YouTube channel, but it's another thing to do it live and see what people are really thinking and asking. Okay? And again, it'll be on the Macintosh, and the Windows instructions would be very similar. In fact, I'm looking, as I'm using the Periscope on my iPhone 5, I'm actually looking. That's how I found out Lisa's names. So again, look at Lisa Illman, Lisaillman. She's on Facebook, I think. She's on Twitter. She's on Periscope. She has her own site, even, lisaillman.com. You don't even have to agree with her. What's more important is to think about your business and so on. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Goodbye.